The Jets made some roster moves. The Brendan Sorsby situation comes to a stunning and crashing halt. We'll talk about all of it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
Oh my gosh, it's morphin' time! To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, just football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, let's go!
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts. We're streaming live on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook right now, so appreciate the people that tune in live every morning. I see so many Boy Green Coffee Club members and Espresso Club members out there in the audience. Appreciate you. Thank you kindly. Great to see you guys. And for the people that rewatch the show on YouTube, thank you. And also the people that listen to the audio-only version podcast, perhaps driving around in their car, dropping off kids, or whatever the hell you happen to be doing. Appreciate that as well. And yes, as Craig Mechanic says, do it, baby. Right off the top, jump on and hit that like button here on YouTube. That is a free way to contribute and get this Jet show to other Jet fans. We have a ton of topics to get into, a ton of topics. First off, we'll start off with the transactional news that happened yesterday. This transactional news. Hit it, people in the back. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Yeah. The New York Jets yesterday signed rookie wide receiver Jalen Waddle, not to be mistaken with Jalen Waddle, Wattle, Walthall. So not for people listening in. And in a corresponding roster move, they waived wide receiver Quentin Skinner with an injury designation. Now, these names may not mean anything out there in the audience. Jalen is a rookie. He went undrafted in April. He immediately signed with the Houston Texans. He was cut earlier this week, and the Jets have scooped him up from the Houston Texans. But I just want to tell a quick side story here about Quentin Skinner and sort of about me, if you guys are new around here, or maybe even if you're not new and you don't realize this. So I am, of course, Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. I've worked for Heavy for 5 years or so, somewhere in that ballpark. And I get to write about the Jets every day, which is a blessing. I get to do this podcast. I get to do a lot of cool stuff. But right now, in my current way of working, and it's been this way for 5 years, I don't get to cover the team on a day-to-day basis in person. I'm sure, obviously, a lot of you probably already know that, but just to sort of reiterate it. So the content I write about are sort of my observations from afar. And that makes it more difficult to do original reporting because I'm just not there. I wish I was. And to be honest, that's a dream of mine. One day for you guys to be able to bring you original stuff, my observations from OTAs, my observations from minicamp, what I asked Aaron Glenn in a press conference or something, and I could give it to you straight from the horse's mouth. I love all the reporters and everything we have on the show, but I hope one day I get to do that for you guys in the audience to give you the best quality version of the show that I can. But as it currently stands, that's not happening right now. And like I said, maybe that'll happen in the future. I'm not sure. But so it makes like original reporting very difficult to do these kinds of stories I'm about to highlight. But I want to give a huge shout out to Quentin Skinner because last year, Justin Fields, everybody's mama's favorite quarterback, he revealed, I believe it was either at OTAs or mandatory minicamp, that he planned on organizing essentially Jets West, but in Florida, the version that Mark Sanchez used to have where he did private stuff with him and his teammates during the gap of time between mandatory minicamp and training camp. And, hey, we're going to all get together. And I was fascinated by that because I said, ooh, I'd love to write a story about whatever the hell they're doing because Jet fans would be super interested in that. So I tried to do some sleuthing to understand who was going to be at this Jets West, even though, again, Jets South, I guess, is the more proper term. And I was able to find out everybody was there, and I was reaching out to a bunch of them. And to be honest, I hadn't met Justin Fields or any of the receivers that were going to be there. I've never met them in person. Again, if you do original reporting, you develop relationships with these people. They can sometimes help you with stories. So I'm sort of at a disadvantage from that perspective to write those kinds of stories, but I enjoy doing them. I just don't get the chance to do them often. And I reached out to a bunch of players in that group, and Quentin Skinner responded to me, and he helped me with the story. He did an interview. He told me from the hibachi they were doing at night to the workouts, and so we did a long form interview. It wasn't a video interview; it was just for the story. And he gave me all kinds of details about the event. I crafted all that into a piece, and it's one of my proudest pieces I ever wrote. And I'll share it in the comments section. I'll throw it down here for those who are watching live. You guys can read it or check it out if you want. Obviously, it has no bearing on the current times, but I got to do the super cool story because of Quentin Skinner. So I just want to give him a huge shout out. I'll give it to wherever you guys are watching. You can read it here. I'll drop it right now in the comment section. But I got to do a different kind of story that I normally don't get to write. And the only reason I got to do it was because of Quentin Skinner. So I just want to give him a big shout out. It sucks to get waived. And what that really means is that Quentin Skinner got injured in practice. The Jets are waiving him, which means he's subject to waivers. And a team will get an opportunity to claim him. That's probably unlikely. I don't know what his injury was, but they'll have a good chance to claim him. If he does not get claimed, he will revert back to the Jets on their injured reserve. And at that point, he could be out for the season, or they could negotiate an injury settlement. We'll see sort of what's the next step for Quentin. But, you know, he's the 6'5" guy. He appeared in one game last season. He caught the 2-point conversion against the Buffalo Bills. Very talented player. It sucks that he got hurt. But I just wanted to share that personal story that he helped me with one of my favorite pieces I ever wrote. And he didn't have to do that for some random guy he didn't know. So big shout out to Quentin, and hopefully lands on his feet. Let's get to this new guy, Jalen Waddle from the Houston Texans. He's an interesting cat, a very interesting cat. Now, this is a guy, according to Dane Brugler of The Beast. Again, he was a rookie. He was just in college football last year. And according to Dane Brugler, he thought he could have been a 7th-round pick or priority free agent. He ended up being a priority free agent. He was the 41st overall ranked wide receiver in this draft class. Was Jalen Waddle, or Wathel, in terms of pronunciation. So the Jets are giving a roundhouse kick on this guy. He's 23 years old. And you look at some of the numbers here. He, size-wise, that his pro day measured in at 6'1", 197 pounds. He's had some interesting statistical years. He started his collegiate career at Hawaii, and then he was at Incarnate Word the last 2 years. In 2024, he started in 14 games at 85 catches for 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns, but it was sort of a one-year wonder. Last year wasn't as good, and there was a lot of changes on the coaching staff and players for Incarnate Word. He only had 70 catches for 800 yards and 8 touchdowns, but still, the last 2 years he got to strut his stuff. He was unable to do that at Hawaii. By the way, his nickname, according to Dane Brugler, is Pac-Man. Okay, I remember Adam Pac-Man Jones. Now we got Jalen Pac-Man Wathel. So that's awesome. So we've got this talented guy who's now joining the group. Here's some of the numbers, some interesting analytics on the guy. He was a 2-year starter this past season. He lined up as a boundary receiver 90.7% of the time. Again, I just mentioned his career year that he just had. More from Dane Brugler from the Beast. Despite not facing an FBS opponent over the last 2 seasons, Wathel consistently jumped out on tape as you would hope. He's had his best working versus soft man zone coverage, where he can use his savvy burst and body fakes to give his quarterback a window. He posted an outstanding touchdown-to-drop ratio during his career, 22 touchdowns to 3 drops at Incarnate Word, thanks to his ability to expand his catch radius. That said, dealing with NFL physicality will be a tough hill to climb. Wathel is an average size, speed, strength athlete, but his route quickness and adjustment ability are translatable qualities. He will compete for a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5 role in training camp. So there you go. Meet your latest receiver, Jalen Waffle. Welcome to the New York Jets, my friend. Formerly of the Houston Texans. We'll see if he can crack the roster. Not sure on that one. The roster seems pretty set at wide receiver. Garrett Wilson, Adonai Mitchell, Omar Cooper Jr., Isaiah Williams. Tim Patrick's going to be fighting in there. I don't know. Arian Smith, I didn't mention. Are you keeping 5? You keeping 6? If you're keeping 5 or 6, then I just mentioned all the names that are going to make it. But that's why they play the games. That's why they do training camp. There's injuries. There's all kinds of things. So good luck to the young man. Good luck to the young man. At this point, a camp body. But maybe he can prove to be more. We talk about it, even though this ended up happening for Chris Streveler, but it was different. We talked about it in his interview a month ago or something. That Chris Streveler was just supposed to be a camp arm, nothing more, never get into a game, none of that. And then injuries and weird stuff happened. He got into the lineup and he was able to have a nice NFL career for himself. So, like I said, you never know. So there you go. A big shout out to Jalen Waffle. Jalen Waffle. Now, let's get into this, folks, this Brendan Sorsby story. This is nuts, this Sorsby thing. This is nuts. I cannot believe from the high heavens that Sorsby was granted an injunction from a judge, and now Brendan Sorsby is going to play college football this year. This is nuts. Hey, respect the lawyer game, man. He must have the greatest lawyer of all time. It seemed pretty black and white. Brendan Sorsby admitted to various levels of betting. There's been an investigation into the gambling allegations and what he admitted, and he went to a gambling rehab facility. It seemed pretty black and white. In the NCAA bylaws, it says, hey, if you bet, you lose your eligibility forever. He bet. It seems stunning. Hey, you know what? This isn't a college football show. This is a Jet show, but I mean, this is nuts. And I saw some people mentioning it earlier that essentially, a lot of teams that are on the Texas Tech schedule are going to try to see if they can refuse to play them because it's BS and nonsense and all this other stuff. So this is, yeah, I mean, Hep says, is there any corruption? He's a Texas judge, I believe, in a certain county that people believe is Texas Tech territory. I don't know. I don't know Texas that well in terms of all the subdivisions there, but yeah, they say he's a Texas judge and that he may have some Texas Tech influence or corruption. Yeah, it's totally, I don't know if it's not corruption. I don't know what it is. That is just, if your greatest rule that exists, like, hey, this is in the show Bear on Hulu, right? There's the non-negotiables. Like gambling is a non-negotiable. If you do that, it's over. And despite that happening, Brendan Sorsby is playing college football this year. That's nuts. Just bizarre. I don't understand. But for the Jets' impact, I'm not salty at all. To be honest, I think this is probably good news for the Jets, to be candid. Because the Brendan Sorsby thing was a massive risk. This is a guy who clearly has a problem. And the Jets or any NFL team that would have potentially considered selecting him in the supplemental draft, which would have been in late July, which he would have had to apply for here in June, which he no longer can apply for because he has his collegiate eligibility reinstated here. You would have had to try to find out a lot of information in a very short amount of time. Now, let's see if Brendan Sorsby can keep his nose clean, right? He's going to get a full year at college. He is suspended, I believe, for the first 2 games of the collegiate football season for Texas Tech. But he's outside of that, of what I just said. He's going to have a full collegiate season to prove, hey, man, I'm on the straight and narrow. All that stuff's behind me. And the NCAA will have a watchful eye. Not that I think that's going to mean anything. The school, Texas Tech, it says they will follow through on all his rehab and all this other stuff he has to do, all his community service and other things. They're going to keep a close eye on him. Let's see how he performs. And if he performs very well, a lot of people believe he will be in the first-round conversation of the 2027 NFL Draft. prior to this gambling, or not the gambling, but prior to this most recent ruling where now he is eligible to play college football, it was worth a discussion on the show to talk about Sorsby. We had Chef Kevin Gilbert ring the bell versus Lou B, Super Jets fan, arguing and explaining the sides. And I think JR327 mentioned it earlier in the chat, which I appreciate. Cade Klubnik's like, whoo, thank God. Because, of course, if the Jets, there's a lot of layers to this. If Brendan Sorsby would have had his eligibility banned, which it was for a brief period of time before the injunction, he would have had to apply for the supplemental draft. The NFL would have had to strongly go, oh boy, do we even want this guy in here this way? I don't know. They could have declined him, and he would have had to enter the 2027 NFL draft next year, as opposed to adding to a team this year, which is what would have happened. The supplemental draft would have taken place in late July. If a team won his services, he would have been added to the roster immediately this season, which would have been bizarre. So for Cade Klubnik, salute to you, brother. I'm sure you're like, woo, thank goodness. Because I'm sure the Jets would have been doing some serious homework on this young man. We already know they did. A Texas Tech insider joined the Jake Asman show a couple of weeks back and said he saw Sorsby and the Jets communicating at the Pro Day, which they were at for mostly David Bailey, but also doing some extra work. Ultimately, this is good news for the Jets. While Sorsby could be a franchise quarterback, and that's still possible now or next year, it's possible that he is. There's just a lot of baggage. Jets quarterback room is sort of figured out at this point in terms of it's going to be Geno Smith as the starter and Cade Klubnik as the developmental guy. To have Sorsby in here as another developmental guy that also has the weird gambling stuff. And when you're suspended, you can't practice with the team. So would he have come to the league and then immediately received a suspension and thus couldn't practice, which defeats the whole purpose of the marination process? Especially, what if it's a heavy suspension, like 10 games or the season? And then you get him, but you can't practice with him? Like, oh, it would have been a disaster. But hey, if the Jets really like Sorsby, and I have no idea if they do or don't, but if they really do like him, well, you'll have your shot in April. You have 3 first-round picks. And also, with this move, the Jets will not sacrifice any of those selections. Not that I thought they were going to sacrifice a first-rounder, but all of your 2027 NFL draft assets remain intact. You don't have to sacrifice any of them right now for him because, as I've explained with the supplemental draft before, if you're new around here, if the Jets would have been a third-round pick and won him, they would have lost their third-round pick immediately for the 2027 NFL draft. That would have been removed from the pile. But now that the Sorsby thing has been eliminated from the possibilities, that's no longer a thing. Sorsby seems to be a very talented kid. There's polarizing opinions on him. There's the whole gambling thing. It's a wild, wild situation. The fact of the matter is this: the Jets don't have a quarterback. So they need to try every avenue they can possible on planet Earth to find that guy. And the search continues. Good luck to Sorsby. We'll see if teams really do refuse to play Texas Tech this year or what the hell happens. I have no idea what's going on there. But the Jets avoid this situation and all the drama that would have been associated. So this is a storyline that we thought we were going to have to keep an eye on over the next month. No longer the case. I am, again, shell-shocked that he received an injunction. But I'm looking forward to hearing what other smart people say about this because again, not to spend too much time on this is a Jets podcast, but I just feel like this ruling by that judge opens up Pandora's box for college football because if you're saying, yeah, betting's okay, then where does it stop? Where does it start? I saw Daniel Jeremiah say, for instance, what if Brendan Sorsby has a bookie and he bets on the first 3 games of the Texas Tech season, but on the 4th game he doesn't bet? Daniel Jeremiah says that would imply that Sorsby knows something about an injury situation, which would affect the betting lines. And it just goes from there. So we'll see what happens with this young man. But I hope America is all about second chances. It's a beautiful country from that standpoint. And you have your opportunity to make mistakes and fight back from them. Well, Sorsby, you've got the Willy Wonka golden ticket. And good luck. I don't know what dramas it's going to cause for the college football season, but unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Another random story I wrote about this morning. I had missed it over the last couple of days. It seems hard with the lack of news sometimes that comes through. But I saw former Jets defensive back Isaiah Oliver has signed on with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I don't even know if we could categorize this as the Jets lost this player in free agency because clearly here in June, if the Jets wanted Isaiah Oliver, he was available all the way up until now. So I don't really know if it counts as being lost, but nonetheless, Isaiah Oliver is now an Arizona Cardinal. And the only thing I wanted to bring up with this is that I think we're going to miss Isaiah Oliver's versatility. He's a name that doesn't create headlines in terms of like, oh boy, Isaiah Oliver. Oh no, what are we going to do? But he was just this Swiss Army knife for the New York Jets. Last season, he played 622 snaps for the New York Jets. 622. And he lined up all over the field for the New York Jets. All over the field. Here's the breakdown of those 622 snaps. He had 23 snaps on the defensive line. He had 144 snaps in the box. He had 67 snaps as a slot corner. He had 10 snaps as a boundary corner. He had 78 snaps as a free safety. And he played all over special teams unit. 54 snaps on kick coverage, 69 snaps at kick return, 59 snaps at punt coverage, 57 snaps at punt return, and field goal, extra point block team, 61 snaps there. And I remember this story from 2024. Robert Saleh had been fired, and Jeff Ulbrich was our interim head coach. And there was a game where, if you've ever watched like an NFL game, like the hours leading in all the pregame shows and stuff, like players come out in the field, warm up and all that, then they leave, then they come back, and then they really warm up right before the game. And before a game in that 2024 season, like halfway through the season, Michael Carter II is in like warm up lines where you're just doing simple workouts. And Michael Carter got hurt in that, which could be, a tip of the cap to the injuries that he has continued to have. Maybe that's a microcosm of it all. But he gets hurt in that warm-up line, and he's our starting slot corner at the time before the game. So 15 minutes before kickoff, Jeff Ulbrich, who's balancing calling defensive plays and being the interim head coach, walks over to Isaiah Oliver, and he tells this story. This is the direct quote from Jeff Ulbrich from that press conference. Yes, Isaiah Oliver is a Swiss Army knife, a very rare individual. And here's the story. MC Garrett during pregame. We're in pajamas a couple of hours pregame. I'm talking about 15 minutes before the ball is kicked off. So that's challenging to prep a player who hasn't had any reps or wasn't ready to rock and roll at the particular position. For me, I go up to Isaiah in that circumstance, say, hey, can you play the nickel? He says yes. I ask him what calls is he comfortable with. He said all of them. We go into the locker room and I hand him the call sheet. He looks at it front and back and says, call it all. So to have a player like that from a coaching perspective brings you so much security, and he's an invaluable piece to what we're trying to get accomplished, Jeff Ulbrich said at the time. That was back in 2024. So Isaiah Oliver, we're going to miss that break the glass, anything happens. Up, slot corner hurt. Up, Isaiah Oliver, step in. Up, our safety's hurt. Isaiah Oliver, step in. Up, we need a little corner help on the boundary. And it's inconsequential money, too. And I like our secondary in terms of our corners and stuff. Nashawn Wright, I'm excited about. Zaria Thomas, I'm excited about. Brandon Stevens. Well, he's Brandon Stevens. D'Angelo Pons, I'm excited about. Quantez Stiggers, I like on this team. There's a bunch of corners. I really like the corner room. And Minkah Fitzpatrick. And let's see what happens with the rest of the safety room of Dane Beltons and Malachi Moores and, those folk. VJ Payne. But I think we are going to miss the old Isaiah Oliver versatility. That was nice to have. So now he's on the Cardinals. Reuniting with Mike LaFleur, of all people. Why not? But just wanted to pour one out real quick for Isaiah Oliver. Very, a guy, a jack of all trades, could do a lot of different things. Yeah. Yo Holmes says, in the NFL, everyone's talented. It's brain power and studying away from the field that makes all the difference. And for a guy like Isaiah, that shows you how he's lasted in the league so long. Former second-round draft choice back in 2018. Spent his first couple of years with the Falcons. Then was on the 49ers during one of their Super Bowl years. And then he came to the Jets the last 2 years. Now he's on the Cardinals. Super smart guy. So, hey, massive props to him. Enjoyed his time here with the Jets. Unfortunately, it's come to an end. Yeah. Taylor Sterling says, was Oliver here with MLF? I thought he came with Rodgers. So, yeah, what would that have been? Let me do my math. 2023, 2024. Okay, so I guess he did not cross over with LaFleur then, because that would have been Hackett at that time. So apologies, Taylor. Thank you for the call out there. So, no, never crossed over with LaFleur. But he crossed over with Hackett, and Hackett is in Arizona. So that's the reunion, I suppose. Even though he's a defender and Hackett's not. Just a reunion in terms of they were both on the team, I guess, even on opposite sides. But yes. But big salute to Isaiah Oliver. Hopefully we have someone else who could step up in that way. Long story short, I just think he's just what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I'm not saying this. So Mark Sacchetti says Cardinals sign him, and all of a sudden Oliver's a stud. He's a good average NFL player for depth. Whoa, Mark, I'm not saying that he's some stud. Not at all. I'm just saying he's one of those under-the-radar Swiss Army knife guys. You're like, damn. Like, when you're on your team, you just don't even think about it. Yeah, okay, he's one of 53 guys in this roster. But then when he's gone, and because, like, you just took his role for granted is what I'm saying. A slot corner got hurt, he could step in. Boundary corner got hurt, he could step in. Free safety got hurt, he could step in. Like, in the box, hey, we need, like, almost like a third rotational linebacker in here. Can you do it for a few snaps? Okay, cool. So, no, I'm not blowing this up like it's some big deal. I'm just simply saying I just came across the news and wrote about it. I just thought it was interesting. I was going back to those old stories from 2024 and just went like, just tip the cap to him. No, it's not devastating. It's not some crazy crap or anything like that. Just simply stating there for Isaiah. Taylor says, he starts laughing. Ha, 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 ha. Hackett and MLF are going to be straight comedy. I can't believe that's another thing that's in disbelief. Nathaniel Hackett. So Mike LaFleur gets fired or mutually parts ways. Yeah, okay. And he gets replaced with Nathaniel Hackett. And now Mike LaFleur, one of his top, this is like Mike LaFleur's words at his press conference, like he was the clear man for the job. And I'm like, what? Huh? Who? What? So Nathaniel Hackett is the offensive coordinator with Mike LaFleur. So two former Jets offensive coordinators are now together in Arizona. That's strange. But we played the Cardinals this year, so we'll get that revenge angle, I suppose. All right, there's a lot to get to, everybody, so we'll go to the phone lines here on the program. We'll open those up for you, and you can call in. We can talk some random Jets action here. We'll also talk about our raffle prizes. I'll get more into that later. The workouts continue in our weight loss challenge. Last night during the finals, I was tired. I'm like, nah, man. You got to keep doing this. You take a day off and all of a sudden it all breaks loose. So you just got to commit. I hopped on there. I'm like, all right, here we go. Get the juices flowing. So it was nice. We have 200 people in the room. Appreciate that, including over 100 of those 200 on YouTube. Guys, like the video. That's a free way to contribute. Hit that like button. Also, feel free to hit subscribe as we continue to grow the Army. Baby! That's what I'm talking about. Make sure you guys do that. I'm sure this Brendan Sorsby situation has ruffled a few feathers out there. Only 35 likes, but 100 people in the room. So, folks, please like that video. It's a free way to contribute. You guys can also go over the top and send in your super chats and raffle tickets and all those kind of things. But, yes, make sure you like that video. All right, let's do this. We will take a HEP timeout. We'll welcome your phone calls and more next right here on Boyd Green Daily.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Jets
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts. Appreciate you, everybody out there in the audience. Thank you for tuning in. Phone lines are open. That's a pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25 here on the program. Got a lot of things to get to, including a quick plug for the raffle. Here's our raffle for this month. If you're new to the channel, we do a raffle every single month. We give it away on the first of the month, and then we reveal the next raffle prize. You can submit your raffle tickets throughout the entire month. So this is the raffle prizes for the month of June. We're giving away 2 tickets to the Gangrene Beach Club event. Is gangrenebeachclub.com for more details. Tickets are $25 a pop. It's at the Ocean Casino Resort out there in Atlantic City. You and your friend can come in, and the $50 fee will be waived. So it's normally $25 a pop. If you just want to buy a ticket and go to the event, I'll be there, and a bunch of wonderful Jets content creators and media members and fans will be there. It'll be awesome. But if you want a chance, all you have to do is spend $3 on the channel, and you have a chance to win these 2 tickets to the Gangrene Beach Club event, which is going to be amazing. We also have 2 items from the NFL draft, which I was at Pittsburgh, a 15 by 15-inch canvas from the New York Jets, a special gift for being in the pit. And then we have a rally towel that says the pick is in all caps. I was waving that above my godforsaken head and screaming for this pick or that pick. It was a lot of fun. So all these items are up for grabs. All you have to do is spend $3 on the channel. The more raffle tickets you have, the better your odds are of winning. But we've had a few people win with just a handful of raffle tickets. So good luck to those out in the audience. Here's all the details on that Gangrene Beach Club event. You got to be 21 and over. Doors open at noon on Saturday, July 11th, excuse me. The doors close at 6, 21 and over. No jeans or open-toed shoes. Hopefully we guys can see you out there for this beautiful event. It'll be great to be out there. I'll have the whole family out there, not for the party, but for just some general hanging out, which should be a nice time. Before we go to the phone lines, I'm so sorry to hear this. Craig Mechanics, Boy Green, a special club member in our audience, says, I'm back at it today. Took a couple days. My uncle passed. I'm Italian, and the food was not very healthy, so I portion control, but back to it today. Craig, there are things in our life as we do this diet thing that are, things happen. If we go out to a place or whatnot, and you can do whatever you want, man, you can always get back. But my thoughts are with you. I'm sorry about your uncle passing, Craig. That's incredibly sad. Hopefully you get to spend some time with family to think about some good times that you had with your uncle. But I'm so sorry to hear that, buddy. Thank you for sharing. Let's get to the phone lines here. This is the pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. A lot of people trying to get involved. Love it. Let's kick it off with Hep.
Hey, Paul. Hey, fellas. Craig, don't worry about it. Just jump back on. You're okay. This is part of what you got to live your life. I mean, shit happens. What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, Paul, is I have these things called drip drops. They're like this.
Drops. Let me see this.
See?
Interesting. Drip drop. Fast hydration. Science.
Yeah, what you do is it's like these little containers like this. Okay. And you have like a little water.
Okay.
Like, I have a little red one in here.
Yeah, I see a little pinkish hue is going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, a little pink hue. It's like reduced sugar, and it's like kind of like Gatorade, like a low-calorie Gatorade or something like that.
Does it taste good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Just put some ice cubes in it and make it nice. Because you were looking for an alternative to drink something.
I am. I still am. Yes. So, okay. I like that. All right.
So those are pretty good.
To it. Okay.
Yeah. Now this Sorsby thing, man. This thing's of high heaven, man. I don't know. What was his defense? What was it like? I was hypnotized, or what happened?
Well, this is the thing I don't understand. So let me read this from the judge. I'm going to be honest. I reread this line 100 times. I'm like, what? So I just didn't understand the judge's ruling. So let me see if I could get that judge's line of like why they allowed this. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I'll try to find it in a second. But like basically, they made it seem like if we do not push this injunction through, like what Sorsby shared and his lawyer shared with the judge, is that I will have irreparable damage, harm, and everything if you don't allow this to happen. But I didn't understand what that meant. Did that mean like he's going to keep gambling if you don't do this, and my life is going to spin out of control because football's so important to me? I don't. like I just didn't understand. So I kept rereading it. So I'm going to have to listen to other people's interviews of their interpretation of the judge's ruling because it doesn't seem to make any sense to me. But I have a peanut brain, so it could make sense. It does make sense to me. But yeah, there was a line in there from the judge on like, why did you do this injunction? And he said, Sorsby's defense and what the judge said is that if we don't do this, he will have irreparable damage or harm to himself. Like I didn't understand what that meant.
What? I mean, that's crazy. That's like, as I said, well, I like to put you in jail for murder, but you might have your feelings hurt. You might, you might have a hard time, so I'm going to let you off. I mean, what's that?
I don't know. And like I said, I believe that sets a very dangerous precedent because if all of a sudden, like this is rulings, I like now if and I saw other people were joking about it on social media of other college players that have lost eligibility and they're like, whoa, what the hell? Like this is bull. Like this is messed up. So yeah, this is again, I was shocked when I just saw Brendan Sorsby breaking news. I was like, oh, they confirmed like he's appealed 1,000 times and now, hey buddy, your college eligibility is gone. That's the report I expected to read. And when I saw it come up, I was like, what? He got it back? He's playing?
This is a real judge, not like a this is a real
is
judge?
a Texas real judge. Yeah, so it says Texas Tech star Brendan Sorsby has been granted a temporary injunction against the NCAA that clears him to play for the Red Raiders in 2026, even after the transfer quarterback was declared ineligible initially for wagering on college sports. A Texas judge granted Sorsby a preliminary injunction that prevents the NCAA from punishing him in any way for violating its rules on sports gambling. Judge Ken Curry noted that Sorsby's attorneys demonstrated that this is the line. So Judge Ken Curry ruled that Sorsby's attorneys demonstrated that Sorsby would suffer, quote, a probable, imminent, and irreparable injury if he's unable to play for the Red Raiders in 2026 and enjoined the NCAA from prohibiting Sorsby from practicing or playing this fall. That's the line that I don't understand what that means.
Injury?
Yeah.
Injury? What does
By
that
not
mean?
playing? Like, if you don't let me play, something terrible is going to happen. I don't understand.
I know what it is. His feelings are going to get hurt.
Apparently. Wow.
Yeah.
Which, Texas Tech people must be losing it, like in a good way. Like, oh my God, we got Sorsby back. But this could have massive ripple effects.
Now you said that some teams are going to be boycotting the
so there's a lot of rumors right now, and I think the report was not Pete Thamel. I'm trying to think of whoever the Yahoo Sports guy is. His name's escaping me. He's formerly from Sports Illustrated, but he said he's heard from anonymous. So this ruling happens, and people are losing their crap. And apparently a lot of these guys, in all these different schools, got on some sort of a group call or something, and they're like, what the blank is going on here? And then while they're having these discussions, someone suggested, hey, maybe we should just play him in football this year. Like, let's refuse to play him and let's make a statement. And then someone else brought up, hey, let's refuse to play them in any sport. Like, let's just boycott Texas Tech. And I'm like, whoa. It's not official that they're doing that. There's just a lot of whispers right now of aggressive things they're doing. But man, the college football world, not in Texas Tech, is very upset at this ruling.
Well, I wish I had a bet on that thing because that probably was a big long. I never would have thought that happened.
Me either.
Anyway.
Unbelievable.
Thanks, guys.
Wow. Okay, there you go. Hep, appreciate the call. And now we don't have to worry about any of that for now, at least. I mean, perhaps he can re-enter the conversation in April, of course, the 2027 NFL draft. If he has a really good year and the Jets have a high pick, they could go into those waters. That's certainly possible. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Up next, Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton.
Good morning, Paul.
Oh, sorry. Did I wake you up there, Mr.
That's okay. Yeah, you woke me up.
Sorry about that, pal. Anywho, what's on your mind, my friend?
Well, I just went to the eye doctor yesterday. I got drops in my eyes. So.
All right. Let me see those. Are the eyes good?
A little bit. Just.
Okay. All right.
They're just fuzzy.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope you feel better, pal.
Yeah. We sold a lot of tickets over the week.
Oh, congratulations.
Yep. We sold 1,252 tickets.
Whoa. Holy friggin' crap. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. That's terrific.
Yep, and my next journey is going to Terre Haute this weekend
You're going
because
to where, you said?
I gotta go to Terre Haute this week.
What's that?
For my summer games coming up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you saw the post I sent you
No, I
about
don't think I did.
the website.
Okay, no, I'll have to check out the website. No, I didn't get that. It must be in spam or something. I'll try to look through my email and see if I can find it.
It's WTHI. It's the news channel 10,
Uh-huh.
and it's the Terre Haute News that I was
Okay.
on. And
Cool.
I did a video for Hampton County Special Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm one of the celebrities for the golf outing coming on August 26th.
Oh, you could golf?
Yeah, I could.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's better than me. I can mini golf. The real golf, I've only been on a course once, and I shanked a few. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. And we have a interview with one of my friends. She had a new song out, so it's
Mm-hmm.
Naomi.
Oh,
So we're gonna get that
name?
on the show. So hopefully you
Yeah.
have some questions to ask her or something like that. So
Sure, that'd be cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Where's the YouTube channel, Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton? What's the name of it?
Oh, it's Mr. Fulton Raz.
Okay, Mr. Fulton Mraz. I'll make sure we put that in the YouTube comment section.
And I'm almost up to 890.
Whoa, subscribers?
Yep.
All right. Killing it, Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton. Nice work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course, buddy. Well, thanks for calling in. It's great to see you, man.
Great to see you too. Have a good one.
You too, Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton. There he is, joining us here on the program. Well, let's go. All right, shout out to Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton. All right, let's keep the phone line train rolling. Up next, let's go to what's the best way to do this? What's the best way to describe this individual? Iconic, certainly. Undeniable, unmistakable, passionate, controversial, polarizing, exciting, electric, moving, handsome. Neil Sr. joins us here on the show.
I like that last statement. But let's see. Who are you talking about? Is there somebody behind me?
Hey, is there someone back there? All right.
I don't know. I guess not.
All
How you
right.
doing,
Good
Paul?
morning, Neil Sr. What's going on?
Nothing. Very disheartened over the game last night.
Oh my God.
I've been,
boy.
right in there with the guys with this Knicks run.
Yeah.
I was with Lou B last week at Main Event. We had a big group, and it was really, I followed the Knicks in the 70s. I was fortunate enough to be around to see the last championships,
Yeah, both of them, 70 and 73.
Yeah, I was a big fan at that time, but, like everything else, there's certain things that you have a big passion for it, and there's others that you don't.
Yeah.
And I think it really just is a matter of consistent losing seasons. You can only take so much pain, and, being a Knicks and Jets fan and Mets fan, it's like going to a dungeon, getting beat by a woman for 3 hours, and then saying, "Oh, that was good. Let me go to the next dungeon and get another 3 hours. Then I'll have another 3 hours again." So at some point, you have to give your mind and soul and brain a break,
right,
from the losing. And the Knicks were my break. Now it's the Mets. I'm not as. But I think the Mets, it's interesting because with the Mets, it's more about the ability to watch them. They were always a staple on SNY. If you had basic cable in Long Island, you got SNY. You didn't have to pay for it. Now it's everything. You got to pay for this app and it's that app. And you have so many apps.
Yeah.
You don't know where to go. You know what I mean? So I say to myself, well, it was on my cable, so I watched it, and I watched a lot of Met games over the years, a lot,
Yeah.
But now that I don't see it anymore and I'm not paying for it, I don't miss it. So,
That's
and they're
funny how that
having
works.
such a horrible goddamn season. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the
I
season
mean,
from hell.
oh
Jeez.
God, with that payroll they have and
Oh God,
everything and all the hope, and it's disheartening. But
quite.
to flip the script,
Yeah,
the Knicks are giving us a lot. This is a New York story. It gives us a lot of hope for the Jets.
of course.
My
Yeah,
attitude is if the Knicks could do it, we could do it, right?
yeah,
It's
of
like
course.
watching what we're watching here is a very improbable run that
Hmm.
hasn't happened in 53 years. And it's not only are they doing it, they're doing it in dominant fashion. I mean, this is their first playoff loss in 14 games. I mean,
That's
you
true.
can't be you can't
Their
be
first loss
perfect,
since April when I was with
right?
Jake on April 23rd. That's
Isn't
the
that
first time they.
crazy?
That
Right.
is
And
crazy. But I hope
yeah,
Jalen
so
Brunson checked his pocket because he got mugged last night. I
I
hope
mean,
he
let me
found his
tell you
wallet
something.
after the game. Good
The
Lord.
officiating is so
Ooh.
biased.
Oh
It's
God.
so you can just tell they want this thing to go on and on. You know, it's really bad. I was on a 7-person text chain, including Jake, Lou B, everybody last
Yeah.
night, and everybody's playing videos of fouling that occurred during the
Yeah, the one
game.
that Victor Wembanyama smacked Jalen Brunson down to the
Oh,
ground,
God.
and then they called nothing. That should have been a flagrant, but they called zip and pip,
Right.
nothing. They didn't blow the whistle. Oh boy, brutal.
But at the end of the day, uh, look, San Antonio's a great team. And you
Yeah.
don't get to the finals, especially in the Western Conference, without being a great team.
Hmm.
So we got to get back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow will be a big win, a big game to win.
Sure. Sure.
And I'm hopeful that we could close it out. I think
Okay.
it'll get closed out next Tuesday at Madison Square Garden.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
get ready for that. Game 6. That's where I
Nice.
think we'll close it out.
Okay.
But as far as the Ed Oliver stuff, Paul,
Yeah. Sure.
the less roster I see on defense and offense of last year's team, the better I feel.
That's
Do you
probably true.
understand that
That's a
this
good
was
point.
a horrific, worst secondary, worst off defensive line?
Of
Where
all
we
time. Yeah.
ranked last
Yeah.
in every single category
Yes.
on both sides of the football
That's
last year.
true. Yeah.
So I'm not going to miss Ed Oliver. I'm really
Yeah.
not. I saw a lot of Ed Oliver. He was versatile, okay?
Mm.
But when he was safety, he missed tackles. When he was corner, he got blown away by a guy down the sideline. He did a
Yeah.
lot. He made a lot of mistakes, but I give him credit. He worked really hard and he is versatile. But
Yeah.
that being said,
Yeah.
I do not want to see
That's fair.
right, Paul? I don't want to see it
100%.
anymore. I can't.
Yeah. The less, the
If I
better.
see
Yeah.
Michael, thank God Michael Clemens is no longer a Jet. I
Yeah.
couldn't
Sorry for
stomach.
Indy. Yeah.
I couldn't stomach watching him come on the field another year. I mean, it's just that's you can't. At some point, you got
Hmm.
to say, guys, it's time to move on
Yeah.
and let's get. My father used to have a ton of sayings.
Okay.
We used to call him Tony I isms. My father used to call him
Okay.
Tony I, and he had a million of them.
Yeah.
One of my
Okay.
favorite was, I said one time to my dad, I'm thinking of moving on with this firm I'm at. I'm not really happy. I talked to my dad every day when he was alive,
I love that.
and he was a great role model. So I says, Dad, what do you think? I move on? He goes, Neil, a new broom sweeps clean. Get the hell out of there and go on to the next firm.
I love those things. That's
Right?
phenomenal.
A new
Yeah.
broom sweeps clean. And and that's
That's a
we
good
have
one.
a new coaching staff. We
Yes.
didn't quite get rid of the one most important guy on that coaching staff, which was Aaron Glenn, but we're going to leave him in a little pile in the corner, and out went everybody else of that was responsible for the losing.
New
Now,
Brunswick.
I give the Knicks a ton of credit because I thought Thibodeau was a great coach, and he certainly gave us the Knicks. He made them a better team. I guess he taught them a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But he was never a champion. And then they bring in this guy Brown, and and it stepped the game up. So when you make changes and you do different things, it always, a lot of times, more times than not, it elevates the situation. I think on a team building situation, whether it's business, whether it's anything, the new broom always sleeps clean. And I look forward to meeting everybody down at the beach club. I'm trying to find the right bathing suit combination. I'm not going to be in a Speedo. I'm a little too old for a Speedo.
Fair enough.
That would be, maybe I'll wear a Speedo underneath a robe or some garment. It's got to be jet related. Where do you get the
Luby could
crazy
go.
jet stuff, Paul?
Well, Luby could go Speedo. I heard he's on this incredible workout diet. He's got a freaking
Yeah.
12-pack over there of abs. So yeah.
Well, listen,
he
when you're
could-
47
he
and
could
you're
go Speedo.
single and you work around a lot of women, it's always good to be in good shape.
That's for sure.
It wouldn't be
Properly motivated.
I am
right?
not in good shape today. I am not in good shape today. I had a rough.
Where is it? Is Lou there? I hear him in the
Yeah,
background.
Lou's here. Yeah, he's here.
Can't
Yeah.
see me, Neil. What do you got?
What, Lou?
You don't have your screen on? I'm telling you. Last night, I am so aggravated last night.
I know. What are you going to do, Lou?
Well, there's for me, it's always about the Jets first, right?
Of course.
And and being there last night, I said, if the Jets make a Super Bowl and you end up with these fans as opposed to the diehard fans, that was bad. Okay, because I went to the watch party the other night. Me and Jake for $10 a ticket.
Yeah,
it was the loudest environment ever.
Yeah,
you go last night to one of the biggest games in history live, and it was 20% as loud. It wasn't
really? Wow.
Damn. It was not down in front. I turned around and said,
"Oh, geez."
Down in front.
Yeah, you know why, Loopy? I was thinking about this when I was on the starting my call. There's got to be a way to take away when we, the fans, right? We suffer through all these years with these Knicks, right? This is your one chance to go see. You go to the Garden, you get tickets cheap to take your family. You get your family bought in. You got your kids. You got this and you got that. Then I got to look at a bunch of celebrities, jacking up the prices of these tickets to $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, who don't really give a shit about the Knicks. They're just there to put their face on the screen. Most of them. I'm not saying all of them. There's, the guys. The guys that are the real fans.
There is a way. There is a way, Neil. So in the DJ world, the world that I live in, there are big DJs who really care about their fans, and they put pressure on. So what happens is and these are shows that sell out just as fast. I'm talking shows that sell out, 5, 10,000, 100,000 tickets in 9 minutes. What they do is, if you're a fan and you've been there and you have a track record, when you get your ticket has to match your ID. So you can't sell it off. Okay? So if, Neil, you went to the games and your email is registered off to all these games, you can't just give it to someone. You have to go. Your ticket has to match your ID.
I have a great idea. You could basically, at this point, the way technology is, you could probably AI bot every person that comes in for a ticket, right? Let's just say the Jets are in a big game, right? And then you have categories. You got category A for lower level seats. Then you have B, you have C, and you have rafters, okay? Now you go and buy a ticket, and the bot, no matter where you buy it, could be, and I would be an advertiser saying, hey, look, if you buy a ticket from Ticketmaster, you have just as good a chance if you're a fan than any other person does that's a ticket broker or anybody else. And that bot will not allow you to buy a ticket unless you are within that range. Like, let's say Paul Boy Green is an A Jet fan, okay? He gets a 4-star thing where he could go on and you know what I mean? I believe at some point we can make this an AI thing where it allows some of the real fans to get a shot at getting tickets to these events than just go with the ticket brokers.
They did it last night. They did something called Fan First, right? So you had the opportunity as a fan to sign up, and then they give it. But what happens is you can take those tickets and sell them to someone else. And that's where the market went nuts yesterday.
Right.
The way the prices went. And the cheapest ticket to get in Wednesday was $15,000. The second they lost, it went to $5,000. Right now, people are trying to sell off because it's not a game that they could clinch, whatever. But it's just upsetting because you think when the Jets do make it to the Super Bowl, you just got to hope that they find a way by then for all fans to be there, and it's not these bougie people that can just afford to go to a
Well,
Super Bowl.
one also that's what's great about guys. That's what's great about the NFL. And the playoffs come, you're one and done. That's it. When you get to that big game, there's no series. This is the thing, because when you want to go to an event like yesterday, all these people in anticipation of the win and everybody got excited. And yes, if the Knicks won the game, the place would go bananas. But at the end of the day, you still have to play another game. It's just not over. That's the finality of a football playoff is what makes the NFL, I think, very unique to the other sports. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I can't even believe these. I can't wake up right now. I can't believe these players have to play again tomorrow. I mean, it's crazy. The one game and one and done should be the way to go. I agree with you, Neil. But this is a crazy sport, basketball, with the way how many games they have to play. Another thing is, like, politics aside, the president there, not there. The issue for me, the bigger issue was they shut down all the streets about 6 blocks away. So all those bars that are packed, and that was all about hospitality for the business. All the bars that are packed, empty, not a soul in, because you can't get to I saw one bar that had about 30 waitresses in there and
wow.
zero people. So 6 blocks away, you show your ticket, they let you in. There's barricades. They had all of the garbage trucks blocking the streets. So then you walk in by all these bars that look like ghost towns. And then you get to the next line, and there's a line down the block. You get on that line, and you walk through. The security wasn't bad getting through that, but the bars that were dead empty. Stout, empty. American whiskey, empty. Bourbon and Branch, empty. The list goes on. East Rutherford.
They wouldn't let these people even go into the bars. They couldn't get into that area of the street where the bars were. Is that what's the problem?
Unless you were an employee or proof with a reservation. So an eating reservation. These are bars. They weren't there. It's very different than main event, where everyone just goes and sit. And then the next highlight of my morning was waking up to a text from Peter Castro saying, "Who the fuck is texting at 5:30 in the morning?"
Yeah, who was that? Who is that with the number? I don't have his name on my. What was it?
That's Purple Belt Mike.
Oh, it is.
He texted like 5:30 in the morning. He's all upset, and then who the fuck's texting at 5:30 in the morning?
I put my phone on silent when I go to bed. That's it.
Do I. That's the
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't put your phone on silent, you get wacky.
Teach him that, please. But
yeah, really. Well, look, we're old. It took me about 8 years to learn how to silence my phone.
Oh my God.
If there's anything more technical than the most basic shit, I have to call on my technical team to help me out. Listen, hey guys, if I throw a pencil and pad at you young guys, all right, I throw a pencil and pad at you, and I give you 25 invoices, and I say, take these invoices, put them in debits, then go and put credits on there, do the math, and figure out how much profit we made. Nothing in your hand but a $2.50 Texas Instrument calculator. You guys couldn't fucking do it. And I could do it, and a lot of guys I know could do it. See what I mean, guys? It's all about technology. It's not about how dumb we are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, it's a new world, and
that's it.
Last night was a rough night. Jake is besides himself right now. He was so mad about the refs. He was.
Oh, that was bad. It was a bad game.
Screaming at the refs and just getting out of there. They really screwed us up last night, man. That was bad. That was really bad.
I don't understand. It seemed like, Brown had a really good rapport with that head ref. He was he was working the refs, but to no avail. I that looked to be really. There was a couple calls there. I mean, come on.
Oh, they were hitting on guys physically, like
I know,
pushing heads down. I don't understand. It's so obvious, but like I said, I really feel like the Jet fans need to root for the Knicks fans right now. And
Yes, that's what I was saying.
all about it.
If you can't be impartial on this thing, because believe me when I tell you, this is, especially OGs, this is a psychologically, when you're out of a championship for 53 years, a lot of people think it can never happen. You know what I mean? And the fact that it can happen and does happen just gives us a different perspective on things. If the Jets start to do well, we'll think they could do well, right? We
That's
won't
right.
get that
Well,
defeatist attitude that we
you're
get
right.
every
It
single
could
season.
happen. It could happen. That's what we
Right.
need the Knicks to win, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, this is going to happen.
It's always
You know how many fans, you go to a game, right? And it's like the first time they throw a pick, oh, here we go. The worst line I ever want to hear at a game. Here we go. Oh, this is going to happen again. I feel like punching the guy in the face. That you can't have that attitude. You got to always be optimistic. Optimism is the key on keeping yourself sane in every part of your life. You got to be optimistic. Too many defeatist people are Jet fans, and they get into this, like, they accept the fact that they're going to lose. They're waiting for the hammer to fall. Can't be that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got. What else, Lou?
No, just as far as football, the Sorsby thing, I think was, I don't know whether it was good or bad for us. If we were going to take a shot at him, I thought they should have gave a second, but now that's all. I don't know how he got away with that, to be honest.
That's what I said. What the?
Well, it was a Texas. It was a Texas court, right?
Texas judge. So yeah, maybe
come on.
Maybe that's all it took,
That's.
I guess,
I'm not that surprised. Money talks.
They have set the stage for a lot of. First of all, a lot of these guys already gamble. I see them.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But for him to be able to gamble that. If they didn't think it was a problem, the Jet fans shouldn't have thought of it was a problem. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
I really agree. I really think it wasn't a problem. I got to tell you something.
Right.
Every single, you could see the way the kid was betting. He's betting, two cockroaches running up. Anything that was going to be put on, which cockroach are going to reach the ceiling? Oh, what's the odds? Plus 190. The funniest thing was Hep goes, oh, I wish I could have bet that. He was going to let me back in. See what I mean?
He made it back in.
Right. Everything is a bet.
Neil, I agree. I want, how much I wanted to go get this guy, but you can't even bet on your team to win or lose, because if you're betting on your team to win, you could be forcing the ball into the receiver that you bet on. You can't.
Right.
You're forcing a pick. Like, you cannot bet on the game, win or lose.
Right.
It's just as bad. I understand winning is better than betting on them to lose, but you're going to be forcing throws. You're doing things that you shouldn't be. They're calling the play. Red 32, and you're looking at. I got a parlay on.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say is, this kid is what? How old is this Sorsby? 21 years old.
Let me see. Let me pull it up.
Young and dumb. The only person that bets more than Sorsby is obviously the ref from last night. He was definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
22. Yeah. The kid's.
Yeah. All right. So my point basically is this. He only started gambling probably when he was making some NIL money, or he was able to get some money and things along those lines. But he realizes, like anybody else, hopefully he realizes that you can't gamble when you're an NFL player or you're a college player making money. And I think he'll get that, and if he doesn't, he deserves the second shot. And if he does it again, oh shit! Now you got to really, now he's got that reputation. But if you want to say, when you see Ray Lewis put a uniform on and go out of the field after he murdered somebody, even though he wasn't convicted of murdering somebody, to me that's a little more egregious than a little gambling. When a guy drags his girlfriend through a hallway on a video and beats the shit out of her, a little more egregious than putting bets in for $5 in Australian hockey or whatever the freaking guy was doing. So enough of the bullshit. There's severity to the problem. And my point is, when somebody does something really stupid, that's when the penalty should be more severe. Not for, again, I agree. You can't gamble when you're in sports. All right. He didn't read Pete Rose's book or whatever. He forgot it. Apparently he didn't get the Pete Rose scenario. But I always go to Warren Sapp. I don't know why I always put this guy in my head. Right. But Warren Sapp was really one of the most controversial draft picks. What was his thing? Did he do drugs? What was the reason why nobody?
I can't remember. And then he also had problems during his career. I can't remember what was the reason
I think it was drugs. I think it was something to do with drugs. Maybe he smoked weed or something. My point being, and Marino, his draft status went down because he was labeled a partier and all this other bullshit.
Yeah, Ted's saying it's weed. Weed was the thing.
There it is. Okay. All right. And look, and the reason, and we know that a ton of players, I don't even forget about now. I don't think there's more people that smoke weed in football than don't. Okay, let's be real.
Sure.
But these things are really, when these things happen, you always got to give the guy the benefit of the doubt once. That's why we live in America. We're the country of second chances. Mm-hmm. All right? Mm-hmm. And you got to give the kid a second chance. That's how I looked at it. I didn't look at the gambling as any part of taking him. I looked at Sorsby as a way to steal a potential first rounder in 27 for a second rounder.
We could draft him next year, by the way.
Yeah, we could just draft him.
Yeah, I get it.
He could be eligible.
We're using a first on him.
And somebody said there were 20 quarterbacks available, like 20 really good quarterbacks in 27 that are as good, if not better than Simpson, for example.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
20. I was like, what?
The top guys. Eventually, it'll get down to the top guys, and they've already started scouting these guys. Football point, guys, I want to make. BG, I've been mentioning this a while, but it's just getting more steam. Is Dak to the Browns? I keep on hearing this.
Dak to the Browns. Wow.
Dak to the Browns. I mentioned it to you about a month ago.
Yeah.
And then there was a little article the other day I saw, and then my friend has a friend that lives in Cleveland, and they're saying that Dak is really they're really trying to get 2 first rounders. Cleveland has 2 first rounders next year.
Is that for this year? They're talking about that?
They are.
Would you give up 2 first rounders for Dak Prescott, Luby?
Yeah.
No.
I would.
You would. I would too. No. But you said no.
Let me ask you a question. Who would you rather have on your roster day 127? Dak Prescott or Baker Mayfield?
I would give a first rounder maybe next year and something in the future, but I wouldn't give 2 first rounders from next year, Neil, just because the draft is so strong.
I get it, but I'm asking you that question. Baker Mayfield's an unrestricted free agent next year. That's somebody I really want. I would think Baker Mayfield could be the Brunson of the New York Jets. He's got that chip on his shoulder. Brunson's not really a rah-rah guy. He just goes out and does it. But Baker Mayfield, man, he excites me when I watch him play football, and he gives me that dart feeling, like he runs into a guy on a tackle to get the extra 2 yards on a scramble. I love that passion, and we need that passion on our team. We need somebody. I think Demario Davis is really going to help us on defense. He's going to be. He is going to end up being, God willing, he stays healthy. He's going to be a great pickup for us because he's going to really bring the emotion on the defensive side of the ball. And offensively, if you put him and match him up with the intensity of a Baker Mayfield on offense, that would be really an amazing.
Look, they're both very good quarterbacks, but for Dallas, you have to look at it from their point of view. They haven't got it done with Dak. For whatever reason, they don't get it done. So next year's draft being as strong as it is, do they go? Their window is closing, and Dak has been part of that closing window, and now they have some of this new talent. What I'm saying is not like me thinking, oh, they should. No, there's a lot of people in Cleveland that are talking about it. There's a few different articles if you look. So that
would be good for us because if the Cowboys,
then all these first rounders next year that they would have would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, I guess the Cowboys would then have them. Yeah, I guess that's true. That's a good point.
And,
I don't want to be picking
quarterback.
high next year. Please.
They'll be looking for a
Please let's
quarterback
pick.
with all those
Please
picks.
let's pick 25 to 32. Please.
Maybe we'll pick 30, 31, 32.
Yeah, that would be really a happy time for me. Might not be happy for the draft pundits out there, but
Probably
for
not.
us, that means we made the playoffs, guys. That's the goal.
And more. Yeah.
And more. That's the goal.
If you solve quarterback before you go into next year's draft, wow. That's all I have to say
baby.
with those picks. Wow.
Yeah, baby.
With those 3 picks, you can really seal this up. You guys have
Oh,
a great
yeah.
All right.
You guys
Thank
have a
you.
great
Thank
day.
you. All right.
Go Jets,
thank you.
go Knicks. Later, Neil. Later, everyone.
Appreciate it. There he is. Lou B. I know tough for you Knicks fans out there. I watched the whole game last night. Tough. But the thing I would say is, like, I know a lot of Knicks fans are like, sweep ski, pull out the brooms. Spurs pretty good. They took out the defending champs. They weren't going to go down swinging. They weren't not going to go down swinging. And we'll see what happens. Game 4 tomorrow night. Do the Spurs tie up the series, or the Knicks take a commanding 3-1 lead and then have some elimination game opportunities? Will be fascinating. Certainly will. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. EZ's up next. Easy.
Hey, Paulie.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Good. First question, how's your brother doing?
He's doing better, which is great. He's getting into rehab, so terrific.
Awesome. So he's on the next step.
Asking. Yes, correct.
Good.
Thank you for asking.
Okay, so this Sorsby thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I sent a super chat. I don't know if you read it, but
let me see.
don't worry about it.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's hit it. I missed this. Excellent. Come on, Zariah Luna. Let's go.
Wow.
Which was not a goddamn mistake. He knew it. Still bet. That's true. 100% he knew. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said that earlier when you were like, people make mistakes. I'm like, no. That wasn't a mistake. He was giving money to other people to do proxy bets for him. I mean, he knew it was wrong. So what is it? If you watch the news and they talk about, the law and lawyers and criminal cases and civil cases, they always say, what was his did they know they were doing it wrong? Did they know? I forget the legal term for that, but he knew that it was bad. He knew it was a no-no.
Right.
He knew it was against the law. And this judge in Texas, oh my God, what a fucking idiot. I mean, I try to stay non-political on this forum. I'm very political on Facebook. But on this forum, I try to stay as non-political because it's all about football and the Jets. But, I mean, when you have an example set by our current government, how they just completely sidestep every, rule that there really is. And now you get this judge is letting this kid just sidestep it. What examples does that set right now?
Yeah.
I mean, he screwed up. I get it. He's young. He screwed up. But he knew it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He deliberately did things to sidestep the rules, knowing it was deliberately wrong, and he got caught. And I like what Hep said. If you get caught for murder, how could you have a judge say, well, I mean, he only murdered the guy, 10 seconds of his life, but he fucked up. And this wasn't just 10 seconds. This was over and over and over again. Multiple bets over a long period of time, betting on his own school, betting on his own team. Just know. So if they didn't let Pete Rose, the best baseball player probably in the history of baseball, I would say it was arguably one of the best players of all time.
Yes.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of baseball players. And he gambled, and they wouldn't let him in the hall.
No.
And you're talking about the elite of the elite of the elite. Mm-hmm. And now you get some college kid doing all this shit, and he expects to be just like giving kid gloves. And no, I'm sorry. Brandon, you fucked up, kid. You can join the NFL, but you can't play college. Mm-hmm. You can't. You broke the NCAA rules were put there for a specific reason. They used to be even worse. You used to not even get NIL money.
Right.
Now at least these kids are getting NIL money. And so what does he think he's going to take his NIL money and now and place all these bets and give money to his friends to bet for? No, I'm sorry.
Which is what has had to happen. I don't know how else it didn't, you know?
Because I don't trust that he's ever going to be clean from it. I don't trust that he's not going to find yet another creative way to get people to bet for him. I mean, it might be that people bet for him and he just says, I don't want to know about it. And then if he wins, they hand him the money, you know, or he reimburses them after the fact. I don't know how he's going to do it, but you can't let that go. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
And I wanted to correct Neil for something. It wasn't Ed Oliver. It was Isaiah Oliver.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah. He got lost on his sauce there. I appreciate the correction.
That's okay. I like Neil. I actually have Neil's phone number. We talk every once in a while. I haven't called him in a while.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, but I get paid. What's today? Wednesday? Tuesday?
Tuesday, maybe? Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, I think. Yeah.
I get paid Thursday. I'm going to be sending the money in Thursday.
Excellent.
When I get my paycheck.
Can't wait to see you, pal. That'd be great.
And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to just hang out in New York the whole week before the game and get to see some friends and family and just chill out and hang out. And because I want to go to the restaurant and meet Chef Kev and all that stuff. And
oh yeah, baby.
And I want to talk to Hep. Maybe we can
please
get maybe a 3 or 4 song set. I mean, did you have like a PA out there the last year?
Yeah, we had a DJ, and then we had mics off the DJ booth, so we could just cut the music and talk on it, or sing as Hep did and stuff. So yeah, you guys will have. It sounds like the full capabilities to do stuff like that.
Yeah, good, because I'll bring my mic, a couple of cables,
cool,
and my duplicator.
Yeah,
it's a really cool effect. You know how they have all effect pedals for guitars. This is like an effect pedal for singers. And it gives you that doubling sound with reverb. It really like enhances my Ozzy Osbourne sound. So
cool.
We'll see.
That sounds like fun, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice effect. And it's easy because if you don't have a soundboard, if you're just working with a PA and a microphone and a cable, you can just get a second cable and plug it in through this box, and it'll at least give you some vocal effects, you know, to sound more modern. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Knick game last night.
Yeah.
Those officials need to be strung up by their balls. I mean, if you saw what they didn't call a flagrant on Brunson when a guy like runs right into him with his forearm. Now, I'll give the guy credit. He didn't swing the forearm, but he came right at him with the forearm.
Yeah.
Okay? That, to me, that's a flagrant foul. I mean, he ran at him. He's like, he didn't take enough of a run. Bullshit. He ran at him. So it wasn't enough of a run? Get the fuck out of here. And then a guy lands on Brunson on the back of Brunson's leg, and then they call a technical on Brunson when he's not even looking at the fucking player.
Yeah.
They call a technical foul on that. I mean, Brunson got screwed, man. And they were hammering that guy all night.
Yeah.
But it was just, oh my God. I don't know how these referees can sleep at night. It was really bad, dude. I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you agree with me?
I agree. Yeah, 100%. Victor Wembanyama mugged Jalen Brunson. There was the weird flagrant where Jalen Brunson was on defense on the perimeter, and the Spurs stepped on his ankle, and there was a flagrant on Jalen for not giving him a landing zone. That seemed messed up. So, yeah, a lot of the calls were super questionable. Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the worst calls I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
I was under the impression a technical foul was a foul done with malice and intent.
Right.
Like the one where he threw the forearm at Brunson, that was done with intent. I'm sorry. That was intentional.
Quite.
I mean, I know a lot of fouls at the end of the game are intentional, but they're not flagrant. They'll like grab the guy and hug him and stuff just to get him, so that they don't get a chance to shoot the three.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is,
For sure. Yes.
So anyway, what's the story with tell me something new.
All right. Well, something
I'm a
new.
little distracted today.
No, that's all right. We've got last week of OTAs this week. Mandatory minicamp is next week, and then we have the break before training camp. So it's on like Donkey Kong, baby. And it looks like the Giants keep having injured players. Abdul Carter got injured yesterday. So I just hope that we do whatever rain dance we need to do to prevent any injuries. I don't want any crazy injuries like these other teams are getting.
Yeah, I get that. I lifted up the body of the dump truck before I hope it opened this time. I got to check something.
Okay, no worries.
You can come with me.
Easy.
You can come.
Okay.
You can come
Sure.
with.
All right, take me on a road trip. Here we go. All right.
I tried to dump the load of gravel or whatever this shit is.
Yeah,
and I forgot to open up the. Uh-oh. You see the hook right here?
Yeah.
It's real tight against there right now because I tried opening it.
Oh, sure.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
See if I can pry it open. All right, guys. Well. Anyway, this is the truck I drive.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Good size.
Quad axle dump. It's a nice truck.
Quad axle. Good quad axle.
Anyway, I'll see you guys.
All right. Sounds good. There he is. Easy. Nice quad axle. Showing us a little quad axle action. Respect. Speaking of respect, I respect when we get memberships being added. Let's go. Number one Usher Jet fan. Raffle ticket to the contest. That's 18 raffle tickets. Shout out. Austrian, I saw that you mentioned Richardson earlier. Are you talking about... No, Siri, shut up. I'm talking on my podcast over here. Damn it. Damn watch. Thinking I'm talking to him. So yeah, getting some of that action. I also saw this is causing some interesting heat in the comment section. I just want to reiterate that any super chats that are sent in do not necessarily reflect the views of this program, but
Wow.
Crackhawks ATL says, attitude reflects leadership. He believes that the country is led by a moron and it trickles down to others in position of leadership. Well, Trackhawks ATL, appreciate the $5 super chat. I try to leave politics outside of this. Everyone can be wherever you want to swim. So wherever you feel about whatever direction or position, I prefer not to get into any politics. That's a very divisive subject matter. Jets are divisive enough. Brendan Sorsby this receiver that. I try to keep that stuff out. So if you guys want to talk about that in the comments, God bless America. But I try to leave that outside of the machine. So thank you. But let's keep it from that perspective. But appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. Back to the phone lines. Yeah, Devin 04 Jets fan, baby.
Good morning.
What's up, my friend?
Oh, kind of relieved that this whole Sorsby saga is just over.
That's the right word, relief, I think.
Could it have ended in a weirder way? I'm not sure.
Right, yeah.
That's I don't think I expected that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was sort of expecting the angle of his eligibility is denied, and then the NFL says, no, you gotta wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is what it is, though, and be what it be. We've got our team right now, and that's the only thing we need to worry about.
I agree. Yeah. Again, I think relief is the right word. There's just a lot of risk. There was a lot of drama. There was a lot of extra hoopla. And then just you've built your team. You have a 91-man roster at the International Pathway Program, and then you're just going to drop this quarterback from the high heavens randomly when training camp starts. Who the hell is this guy? So, there's just it would have been bizarre. So, yeah, relief. Hey, now we don't even have to worry about it. It's not even a thing. The storyline's over. It's dead. So, maybe it'll come back up next year. He performs really well. We have a top draft choice, and he could be a pick. Maybe we'll have that conversation again. But right now, thankfully, relief.
Yes. Now I remember someone saying that Kenyon Sadiq got hurt. What happened?
Yeah, so Kenyon Sadiq had a sports hernia issue. Now, this is something that dated back to his final year in college. I've had a hernia situation, and initially it looked like I was going to have surgery. I see multiple doctors, they confer, and ultimately I didn't have to get it. They said, hey, you can live your life without getting this. Unless these things happen, then Jesus, we have to operate immediately. Thankfully, blessed be he, none of those things did. So I did not. Not all hernia injuries are the same. He did play with it last year. It forced him to miss a game last year. But as I just explained in my own situation, sometimes you can live your life with this thing and it's fine. Sometimes you can't. The Jets went back and forth saying, maybe he can play with it. Yeah, you know what? Let's just handle it. So he had the surgery. He should be ready by training camp, by all accounts, hopefully, by what they've described. So, yeah, that's a situation. You just never want to see your first rounder getting surgery, regardless of what the surgery is. I don't want to see him getting his wisdom teeth removed, let alone a sports hernia issue.
Yeah. Now, do you watch a lot of sports YouTube?
What do you mean sports
after
YouTube?
You get off, like the franchise guy and all those other guys that cover like NFL wide?
No, I've not seen any of those.
Okay. Well, he just dropped his power ranking for the Jets a couple days ago. He's got us at 28, and the whole effing video is nothing but slamming on us.
Oof.
Until he got to the offensive core of weapons.
Okay.
And in his words, the future potential to be one of the best in the league is most definitely here.
Ooh, okay. Okay. That excites me.
It was a very interesting listen. He made a lot of good points. He complimented Glenn on his ability to do multiple fronts, which is something we've known that Glenn does well.
Right.
But it's just, he brought up a lot of good points as to why we're going to suck this year, too. And it's like, quit bringing logic to an emotional argument, damn it. I don't need to hear that.
Yeah, come on. Leave that at the door, you bastard.
We're about to get into quiet season here, and this is where things get interesting with where the hypotheticals really start flowing.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
And one hypothetical that's floated in my head a handful of times at this point is, I know there have been teams in the past that have had back-to-back first-round picks through trades and everything. I don't think anybody's ever had 3 in a row.
No, so
and the odds are not 0.
Yeah, right. There's never, if the Jets, so they just used 3 first-round picks, of course, on David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq, Omar Cooper Jr. They are scheduled to have 3. If they make those 3, they will be the first team in NFL history to have 2 drafts back-to-back with 3 first-round picks and 3 first-round picks. So, yeah.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. I know. Don't we hold the record for most first-round picks taken?
4. 2000. Yeah, the turn of the century draft in 2000 with Sean Ellis, John Abraham, Anthony Becht, and Chad Pennington. 2000. Yep.
Why can't we hold records like that? I know we do, but still, good God, we've suffered enough as a fan base, man.
Yeah.
Whoever sold their soul,
right,
needs to go back on that deal, man, because I'm done suffering.
Or maybe someone else can sell a soul. Maybe we could do a 2-for-1 special or something. Maybe we can work that out. Yeah, there's got to be people willing to sacrifice their souls out in the audience. So, yeah, I'm just ready for us to be competitive at the very least, And obviously I have desires far beyond that, but we've had a winning season since 2015. That predates, unfortunately, the Boy Green Daily era. That's back in my audio-only days. So I would love playoff conversations and not just draft conversations in October. I'd prefer, as exciting as the draft will be, and it will be, it's going to be huge for our future, 3 first-round picks next year. I'm ready to have that conversation in the offseason. I want to have the conversation about football. I want to have the conversation about this storyline, week 1, week 2, week 3. Oh, wow, we're in the hunt. Like, that's the conversations I want to have. We'll see if we can.
Yeah, that's really where I want to be as a team. And I think there's a great potential to where, like, I mean, I know he's not with the team anymore, but Joe Douglas's introduction was, I want to be able to bring us back to playing meaningful football in December.
Yes.
And he got it. They got us there and just couldn't get across the finish line.
Right.
I want to see that again, and I want to see it go further.
Mm-hmm.
The core is there.
Mm-hmm.
I truly and wholeheartedly believe we have the core.
Mm-hmm.
But the coaching just has to step up.
Yes.
At this point.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
But all right, BG, I'm going to hang out in the back.
Okay.
And I will see you next time.
There he is, Devin, 04 Jets fan, joining us. Appreciate you, Devin. Thanks for popping on the program. Appreciate it. We got 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe here on YouTube. We're continuing to climb the YouTube ladder of subscribership. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. That is absolutely, unequivocally free to do. FREE. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. We'd appreciate it. We're now 2 subscribers away, baby, from 8,670. So let's see if we can get a little tush-push action happening over the goal line. 2 subscribers away. So hit that subscribe button. If you're watching right now on Facebook or Twitter and you've never subscribed, feel free to do it. That's youtube.com/@boygreen25. We'd appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Johnny boy.
You.
Still wearing the hat. I respect that.
Hey, man, always, man, no matter what, bro. Hey,
Okay.
Win or lose, man. I mean, I'm a Mets, Jets, Knicks, Rangers.
Sure.
I rep my teams, man, regardless of what the situation is. I mean, we got robbed last night. Let's be honest, bro. At one point, I think they had like 24 foul shots or something.
Yeah, free throws to the 8 of the Knicks in the second half. Yes.
Like, it was crazy, bro. So
a huge disparity. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a business at the end of the day, right? The NBA wants to make more money.
So keep the finals going is what you're saying.
Yeah. So, bring it back to San Antonio or whatever, just to continue to keep making more money.
It's at least going back to it's at least going to go to a game 5. I mean, we'll see beyond that what it does, but yeah.
So but anyways, the Sorsby conversation, man.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there is no distraction. There is no conversation in regards to that. But my whole thing was the fact that people were like, nah, like we can't do this at all with him, or, as if we've had such good quarterbacks or whatever, So for me, it was always a conversation because next year, let's just say he kills it.
Yeah.
Goes into the draft, and then we got to use one of our firsts. And everybody's going to be
when
like...
you could have used something less. No, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? So, now we don't have to, right? Shout out to his legal team. I mean, he got...
Oh, my God.
2 games, and that's it against, Alabama North or some weird...
Yeah, some directional. There are 2 things I want in life, Johnny boy. I want the agent of Kirk Cousins because he always seems to get the most money. And I now want the lawyer of Brendan Sorsby. If I have that team around me, I could do anything the hell I want. Yes.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I mean, Sorsby, it is what it is. I mean, wish the kid luck. I hope that he figures it out. I mean, I feel
get his shit straight, 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, I felt like at least if he would have became a Jet, I know everybody was worried about the whole, media lines that were going to be put out there for him, blah, blah, blah. But he could have just came up on the podium and just, took it like a man and been like, yeah, I fucked up. Like, I messed up. I did, but I corrected it. This is not going to mess with anything. I'm going to continue to keep showing you guys why they picked me. Thank you for the organization for being one of the teams to actually give me a chance and go from there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other individuals that are in the NFL that are playing the sports. I've done 20 times worse, which in some states gambling is legal.
Sure. Right. Yes. Right.
So it ain't like this dude murdered somebody or...
No, he didn't. Right. It's gambling. It's different. I saw Ted say that earlier in the chat. It's not murder, guys. It's gambling. Yes, it should be appropriately categorized in the spot that it's in. I concur. I agree.
Now, since they did, I mean, it is kind of funny that, the day of Sorsby gets, off and really is okay in going back. And then this happens with the NBA refs. I don't know, man.
Did Sorsby make another bet last night? Is that what you're saying?
Yo, I think so. I think Sorsby
Oh,
wants
damn. To celebrate. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Why not, right? Hey, right? I mean, Texas, San Antonio, the Judge.
Texas?
Yeah, man.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, man. But and dude, I really like the fact on what they're doing too with bringing all these other like players and stuff like that. Also, like for me, even with the Houston wide receiver that we just brought in, and then with the tight end wide receiver that we brought in, are these potentially some of the are these like banjo pickups that he's trying to use them as individuals on the special teams as like gunners, something like that?
Could be, especially because we traded away Irv Charles. So, depending on how the Jets feel, competition maybe for Quantez Stiggers and Arian Smith and those gunner boys. Sure, yeah. I mean, again, if you're a Jets fan, like maybe some of this is inconsequential. You don't pay attention to these kind of storylines, but to me, competition is good at all positions. So the Jets adding more guys, like I don't know how you can be mad at it. I can understand how you're indifferent to it. Like someone said earlier, training camp bodies don't mean nothing. Okay, you can have that perspective, and I'm not gonna kill you for having it. But to me, competition's good. I want as much competition as possible with all these different positions.
Exactly, and I mean that's exactly what I've been saying, and that's what I thought the Sorsby stuff could have potentially have been, right? I mean, you had back-to-back quarterbacks between Cade and Sorsby. The hope is that none of these guys, I hope Cade doesn't play at all this year. I just really hope that he's the backup. He keeps learning from it, and then potentially could be that guy, depending upon which route that, Gino goes. Because Gino has a great year. Hey, why not? I mean, didn't it work for? And now I'm not here saying that Cade is Patrick Mahomes in no shape or form at all. All right, but what I'm trying to say is Alex Smith. Then you have Patrick that was in the weeds waiting for a little bit, and then he took it over. So, but can Frank Wright be the Andy Reid? Meaning an offensive-minded individual to open that up? I don't know. I mean, I tell you this much, I'm intrigued. I'm excited. The weapons are there, so I can't wait for the season, bro. I'm hyped to see you again in Tennessee, buddy. With all the crew. It's gonna be an amazing time. I believe Yo Holmes is coming now too. So
to what, Tennessee?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I believe he's coming to Jets Browns.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's bringing somebody. He says I think he's gonna finalize that this week or something. I think he was telling me. So great. Yeah. I hope he's able to come. That'd be great.
Yeah, Yo Holmes the pimp. If y'all don't know, I mean,
okay. Right.
Rolex wearing.
Okay.
You're gonna finish it, BG. Never mind.
Eyebrow raising, high profiling.
Yeah. There we go. But yeah, brother. But yeah, I mean, that's my take on the whole Sorsby stuff and the shit with right now with the Knicks, bro. Like everybody's pissed, bro. Did you see they were jumping dudes that were rocking San Antonio Spurs jerseys?
No.
Yeah, bro. Like if you were getting caught in the city, they were whooping your ass, man. With
Jesus.
I mean, I don't think that's cool, if I'm being honest with you.
No, I don't either. What happened? I can't remember who the fan was. Someone, I can't remember if it was Knicks or not, but somebody it was a Pacers fan. Someone threw him in a dumpster. Someone threw him in a trash can. Like he was walking around with, I don't know what the fan base was in the Eastern Conference. Maybe it was Knicks. I don't want to shame the Knicks if it wasn't, but whoever it was, like he was walking by himself and a bunch of people were around him and just giving him trash. Like to me, I went to a Jets-Bills game a bunch of years ago in Buffalo. The Jets were totally out of it. It was the Mark Sanchez era, and Mark Sanchez had a terrible game. And,
bless you.
Thank you. There was Bills fans. I must have got the wrong tickets or something because I was the only Jet fan in this entire Bills section. And, they poured beer on me. I was with an old ex-girlfriend at the time, and yeah, they were not very happy. And I was like, come on, man. Like, I can't, and other people said, oh, you shouldn't wear your gear around there. I went, fuck that. I'm not going to not wear my gear because, they're not going to like that. I'm like, I'm not going to hide. I'm a fan of this team. I'm coming to this friggin' stadium. So suck it. Yeah, I'm wearing my crap. Like, you can wear your stuff. I'm not going to blame you. But let's go. Like, let's play the game. Let's enjoy the game. So, that's come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's such whack. If he's doing crazy stuff, that's one thing. But if he's just minding his own business, Spurs guy, let's beat the shit out of this guy. What the hell? Come on, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, that should happen to me at a Redskins game. I was
Really?
it was the Rex Grossman game, and then we came back and we won that game with Sanchez. Yep, it was with Sanchez as well. And I'll never forget it, bro. It was hype as anything, but I wasn't like making noise or anything like that. I wasn't being all rah-rah. But I'm walking and some Redskin dude from the back just pushed me, bro. Like straight just pushes me. And
boy.
I mean, I didn't fall or nothing. I caught myself.
Of course, because you're Johnny boy. You wouldn't get
I
thrown
turned
through,
around like super quick, and I didn't even it was just instinct, bro. It swung, I chin checked him, put him to the floor, and that was it.
You clean clocked his ass?
Fuck yeah, bro.
You give him a 2-piece combo?
Not even. It was just a straight hook to the button, and he was on this thing, and his friends were like, "Oh, I don't know if it was. I think if I caught him off balance, but when his face hit the concrete, like you know what I'm saying, like it was pretty because he just but
Johnny boy's got it. Okay.
Nah, man. I'm like, I mean, if somebody puts their hands on you, you're not talking about, why'd you push me? Nah, yeah, you're ready.
The time for talking is over.
Yeah, you're already crossed that line at that point. And you got in my stuff.
Okay.
So
I'm glad I didn't push you in the hotel room. Thank God.
Nah, man, that shit was fun, bro. I just never forget you were fucking Boy Green Daily, 7:30 in the morning. Why the hell did I choose that? Yeah, I'll never forget that. That shit was the funniest thing in the entire world, bro. Yeah, it would have been better if I would have been, Boy Green Daily, 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Boy Green afternoon. Boy Green something. Yeah.
Man, but it is what it is. I'm so excited. I still think that they're going to continue bringing players in. I still don't think the kicker situation is done as well. I still think they're going to continue to keep doing that. And I like the fact that they're like, yo, Young Ho, you missed, you're out.
100%. They threw his ass out of the club. So the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air style. Whoa. So to me, just get it right. So if you want to keep churning and saying up, you better prove it. Up, you suck, get out. Like, and cut the line, whatever, man. If Jason Sanders can stay healthy, he's been really good. So, okay. If he's the guy, great. I don't give a shit who the guy is. Cade York, Jason Sanders, Young Ho, Young Wei, Young this, Young that. Just get me a guy who could kick it through the uprights, and he's our guy. That's it.
100%. And then the last thing I wanted to ask you,
sir.
Craig Wilson pickup, which is that linebacker.
Chase Wilson you're talking about, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chase Wilson. Yeah.
I meant to say my condolences to Craig Mechanics and what's going on.
Oh, yes, no, of course.
Uncle.
Yes, he lost his uncle, yes.
Yeah, man. Condolences. Prayers up for you, bro. What's the deal with that dude? Like what has he done? I mean, do you know a lot in regards to?
I had some numbers on him. He tried out for the team. Let me pull up some of the stats we have on him. Let's see. He's 6'1", 230 pounds, former West Virginia product. Again, he tried out for the Jets had a rookie minicamp. He tried out for it, did not make the team at that point, but obviously impressed enough during that time that they put him on the list. And the majority, he was, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He spent 6 years in college. The first 5 years were all at Colorado State. And then he transferred it for his final season, his super senior season. He transferred to West Virginia. And he's got some interesting sack production from the linebacker position, which is interesting. He's had 9 sacks in his career. The last 2 years that he's been a full-time starter, he has 4 picks total. That's a nice number for him. He has 280 total tackles all those years. His first 2 years, he was freshman redshirt. He didn't really do anything, but he's been a starter for the last or I wouldn't say a starter, but like he's been a starter for 3 of the last 4 years, where he's gotten some real opportunities. He's appeared in 53 games. He's had 9 pass deflections, so he's always getting around the ball. 2 fumble recoveries. Yeah, a forced fumble. Yeah, he's got some nice statistics. So again, I think if I'm a young player and I'm picking where I'm signing, I'm a linebacker in particular. I see the opportunity at linebacker with the Jets, and I'm like, I am flocking there to try to get a shot to make the roster because I think there are opportunities there.
100%. And then being able to learn and pick the brain of the Mario Davis as well.
Of course.
Definitely, I think it's a big one. So, yeah, again, I didn't know too much about him at all. I mean, I'm glad that they did that. I felt like even in the draft, that was a position that they really were wanting. And, it was Jacob or not. So, yeah, but here we are, man. Anyways, hey, appreciate you, BG, man. Have a great day. Let's go Jets. Yeah. I know you're a big Knicks fan now, too. And you're
of course. Bing bong. Can
Big
I still say that, or is that expired now?
No, it's there. It's all day, every day. Did you see the Danhausen interview afterwards?
I don't know if I saw it after. I just saw him on social media. He was like, "It's not my fault. There was something else."
Yeah. He was like, "This is a team effort."
Oh, that.
Right now,
yes.
The curse is about winning the whole thing. And I already spoke with Brunson. And how dope was it seeing Jalen Brunson doing the "You are cursed"?
I saw that. Yeah, it was very subtle, but I liked it. Yes.
Yeah, dude. I have to say, man, the finals has been fun. Like it's dope with the way it's getting the Danhausen stuff, bringing that in. Let's get it done. Let's finish it, man.
Yeah, man.
Don't let this dude end. I hope somebody comes up and I hope maybe Chris Childs comes out of nowhere and is sitting there and just chin checks freaking Wemby out of nowhere. He might have to jump off of either the Charles Spreewell's back or something.
I was just about to say, for me, I'd need a couple chairs, and then eventually I would have a chance at Wembanyama, unless he pushed me over. So yeah, you gotta have the right person for that.
Yeah, bro, that dude is one of the dirtiest players, bro. The way he plays, like
some scummy stuff.
Dude, when he falls, like a lot of people don't even they're not even catching it. This dude puts his hands out trying to trip people, bro.
That's messed up.
Shit's crazy. It's wild, man. But anyways, all right. BG, appreciate you, man. Let's go Jets. Peace.
There he is. Johnny Boy joining us here on the program. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to this guy. Fellow New York Jets content creator. A man who may be joining us semi-regularly. That may be happening after a sterling debut. Feels weird, like that he came out of nowhere, but it's like a co-hosting debut. And he performed so spectacularly, which does not surprise me, that the fans started chanting, Ricky, Ricky, Ricky. And I saw John Cena played him in the Ricky Stenicki movie, so that's great for him too. So let's bring him in. Ricky New York Live, baby.
Right on. How you doing this morning, Paul?
I'm doing swell, pal. Thanks for your people spoke to my people. It sounds like there may be some sort of a light agreement in place.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. It sounds like I'll be seeing you a week from today.
Yes, which blessed be he. So thank you for the flexibility, my friend.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Listen, I'm not as heartbroken as some people about the Sorsby thing. Like I was good with that situation, whatever. Hey, he wanted to go back to college, rather than do the supplemental draft thing and find his way into the NFL. He wanted to go back to college. So you think it would be a fair statement to say that he wanted to bet on himself?
Yes, that would be a fair statement. That's a winning bet, I'd imagine.
Right. Man, you know what? I'm starting to wonder if I should root for my teams, because I called Jake's show yesterday and was wearing my Knicks hat for like the first time, in probably this whole run, like that, but when I go to work, I wear older, crappier hats because they're going to get messed up at work. And then when I'm home, usually I'm wearing my Jet stuff. So I break out the Knicks hat for the first time and they lose. And I'm like, oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Now, ironically, listening to Johnny, the funny thing is like, I guess when I started going to football games, like, as a Jets fan, I guess for, God, let me see, from like 98 to, I guess for like the first 13 years, I never really bothered to think about, the visitor section or the home, like, so I would usually go into like the enemy stadiums and I'd be sitting by myself, while all the other Jets fans were somewhere else. And a lot of times, it was here in Tampa, and which, listen, Buccaneer fans, they don't take kindly sometimes to the green and white sitting in their section. But I'm from here, so, like, I don't know. I guess for a long time, I just, like, I don't know. I would just get online and, here's a good price for where the seat is, and wouldn't even really think about it. Like, and I think the first time that I actually, sat with a bunch of other Jet fans, it was kind of by accident. But it turns out that, a bunch of the guys from the fan club here were there at the same time, and they were like a few rows down ahead of me. But the good thing about that game is we were whipping them so badly that, by maybe 5 minutes into the third quarter, like, that all their fans had left. So like all of our fans went and like moved down closer to the field.
Smart.
And dude, I'll never forget it because like Rex was the coach. I get to see, the Sanchez. I get to see, or so I thought. He ended up getting hurt, didn't play that game. This was in 2011. So I'm going to the game. I'm like, damn, man, we got, now I get to Kellen.
Is that Mark Brunell?
Kellen Clemens.
Oh, Kellen Clemens was still there. Okay.
Yeah. So, it was 2011. And, but I think Clowney was here. Brad Smith was here. I think Brad Smith had like the longest reception of anybody that particular day.
Oh, that's cool. Love that.
But yeah, and like, I'm thinking, we're missing our quarterback, and like, this year hasn't necessarily panned out the way that I thought it would. And but dude, like I said, we were beating them so badly that like their fans all left. We all funneled down closer to the field, and dude, there were Jets chants going off and shit, and like a buddy of mine who is a Bucks fan, he was like, dude, he was like, you know what? He was like, F you, Ricky. Like, you know what? That sucked. I got to watch that shit on TV and listen to a bunch of Jets chants in our stadium. And it's like, well, you know what? It was time to put up or shut up. And you didn't put up. So shut up. I don't know what to tell you. You should have put a better product on the field. Don't know what to tell you. But dude, like just to take over an opposing stadium like that, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. I hope we do that for Tennessee this year. So it sounds like we got a lot of Jet fans coming, so it should be a good time.
Yeah, like we need to start taking over some other stadiums instead of having a bunch of
Them
bums
do
come
it to
in
us.
and take over
Right.
ours. Yeah,
Right.
And yeah, man, hopefully
Hey.
the folks in Tennessee are friendly.
Yes.
I know I've gotten into some altercations at some other stadiums.
Oh boy.
In the past. Yeah, I fought with some Saints fans.
Okay.
I've had a couple of fights with Dolphins fans.
No, that makes sense. Those animals.
Yeah, well, that's like one of the ones that's close enough for me to drive to. So
Oh, right. Yeah, Tampa. Yeah, Miami.
you know,
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah, that we play regularly too.
Sure.
So
Right.
that's one I can go to. And then, Tampa and Jacksonville every so many years. Although we've been playing Jacksonville a lot the last
Strange.
few years,
Yeah.
it seems like. But, man, I'll tell you what. Even when we were good, it seemed like, and you thought that Jacksonville would, you look at the schedule, oh, there's a win.
Yeah, right.
And then it turns out not to be. I'll tell you what, that really sucks to have to, watch a loss and then go out in the car and then you got that 3.5 hour freaking drive back home. Like, that's terrible. But I used to like going to Jacksonville because even if all 36 of their fans show up, you're still getting a really good seat, So yeah, anytime we went there, it seemed like that place was like a third full, and half of that was Jets fans. So
hey, let me just plant this one thing here with you, Ricky. You're going to know immediately, I'm sure, what I'm about to say, but the people in the audience may not know. So you're going to be the first to know this. And we're going to have a certain guest on the show coming up, Ricky New York Live, here on Boy Green Daily. And this person is a member of a certain Tampa Bay club that you may also be a part of. This person has agreed to come on. This person will be joining us somewhere during this gap of time that happens with, we have last week of OTAs this week. Next week is mandatory minicamp. Then we have this gap of time that's basically a month. And we will have some special interviews during that pack. One of those packs of interviews will include a member of a certain Tampa Bay club. I'm not sure if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Ricky
yes, I am. Live. Yes, I am. Did I happen to mention this person recently?
You may have. You may have put it out there in the universe on our list of attacking certain players of a certain team of a certain era and highlighting said certain people of that era. So yes, you may have.
Yeah, I think I asked Bob about that the other day, if he had talked to him for his book or whatever.
Which motivated Bob to invite this individual. This individual has happily accepted that invitation. So that will be coming here in the coming weeks.
He's awesome. I actually thought about reaching out to him to come on my own show.
You should. You know him, obviously. I've never met him in person. I've heard other people in my circle have met him and have said wonderful things, but I have never met him or spoken with him.
Dude, just being able to shake somebody's hand, and the hand that's shaking your hand has a New York Jets Super Bowl ring on it. Is amazing. Now Gator took it a step further than me. Gator actually had to take his ring off, and Gator tried it on. I wouldn't have I probably wouldn't have taken it that far myself. I only probably because not that I wouldn't do it, but I probably just wouldn't have asked. But
yeah, see, that's the same thing. We had God rest his soul, Floyd Little is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. I got the chance, being in radio around here in Syracuse, to meet him several times, get to run into him on a handful of occasions, and he's no longer with us. And he and his wife, Deborah, would come into the studio, and he was so proud to wear his Hall of Fame jacket, Hall of Fame hat, and his Hall of Fame ring. And then, again, same as you, would I want to wear it? Of course. But I don't think I'd have the gall to. It's just I don't. Where does that come? How do I start that conversation? Just hey, can I put that ring on? So I always thought in my head that'd be weird. But when we, I I can't remember if it was the first time, second time, third time, fourth time. I'd met several times, and he said, "Here, you want to try it on?" I went, "Sure." And I just looked at the holy crap, the weight, the look, the everything of it, and he was proud of it. And he saw like how goo I was because I'm a football nerd, so like the Hall of Fame and everything is very meaningful to me. So like to hold the ring of a Pro Football Hall of Famer was amazing. So a big salute to Floyd. But in your same way, Ricky, I don't think I would have if we met 1,000 times, and we met, I don't know, we've probably hung out 10 times or something. Like, I don't think I would have ever had the gall to ask. But when he offered it, said, "Oh, yes, sure. Oh, yeah." Good for Gator, though.
Well, I'll tell you what, and dude, Earl is an awesome dude, and he's got some great stories. And I think Jake met him when he was down here because Jake did the meetup. Right. And did it the same place where our fan club, watches all the games, during the season here.
Oh, that's convenient.
And so, as soon I kind of put, I don't know if I mentioned it to Jake or I think I did. And then, I don't know, next thing I know, it was like, okay, yeah, I hooked up with these people and we're doing the meetup here. And I was like, oh, hell, I go there all the time during the year. So, ironically, it's like not even a quarter of a mile from where I work, where we had that meetup where our fan club meets up. But and so during the year, I'd say there's probably at least 2 or 3 games every year that it seems like Earl's there and hanging out with everybody and really cool. But dude, I mean, we got Earl Christie, we've got Mike Westhoff, we've got some illustrious members in that fan club. So good stuff, man. But at any rate, I can't wait for this year to get here.
Me too.
I really can't. It's funny. Like one of my coworkers came up to me last night, and he was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "I subbed your channel," and he was like, "Yo, I was sitting at home the other day when we were off for the weekend, and that shit like popped up on my feed, bro. And I was like watching you on the computer, and I was like, really?" And I was like, "Cool. What do you think?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, man, that shit was like lit." He was like, "Yo, I watched like at least like 10 minutes of it." And I'm like, 10 minutes? The show was a friggin' hour and a half. But you know what? Like that guy's not a Jets fan, and I get it. So like friends of mine that have subscribed, I mean, I know, a small handful of people that subscribe to my channel that I know that they'll probably never watch it. And that's okay because I still appreciate the support.
Of course.
Hell, I've subscribed to a few channels that I probably won't ever watch.
That's true. Me too. I won't say any names. Wink at camera, but but yes, I do because I think it's just a respect thing. Like, hey, man, we're all doing this together, and I don't whatever it is. Tampa Bay, it's not this, but Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcaster out there like that I like, hey, man, I'll do it because like, hey, man, that's what you should do for friends in the business. But yeah, I'm probably not going to ever once in my life do anything with this, but for you.
Yeah, well, a couple of them are like music ones, and one of them's like a wrestling one, but just people I'm friendly with, and they're like, "Hey, man, I'm making this channel, and would you mind subscribing to it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I will." Yeah. So I don't fault my coworker for not sitting there and listening to an hour and a half about a team that's not his, that he couldn't care less about. But hey, it's all about showing the support. So anyways, I guess I will see you. I got to get some sleep because I got to go back to work tonight. But I will see you next week.
Can't wait.
Yes, I see you on Tuesday. And speaking of support, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet and you are watching this, make sure you subscribe. That way you will always know whenever Paul is going live. You'll never miss a show. You'll never miss any of the great content. And hit that like button while you're here. It's free.
That it is, Ricky New York Live. Thanks for the plug, brother. You're the best.
All right, man. Have a good day, Paul.
Rock on, baby. That's it. Yeah, if you like the video, that's free to do. You subscribe to the channel. That helps get this Jet Show in front of other Jet fans. Thank you, Ricky New York Live, for the kind words. We have 300 people. They're watching the show across our social media platforms. Make sure you guys like the video on the way out. Appreciate it. And thank you to all the people that sent in super chats. EZ, Trackhawks ATL, and our number one Austrian Jet fan, Baby. All right, beautiful. We'll be back again tomorrow for another episode of Boy Green Daily. Thanks, everybody. I'm excited for the season, just like Ricky. And every day, it's another round of excitement. We talk about whatever news is here. And again, OTAs this week, mandatory minicamp next week, and then we'll have a gap of time. We'll have some flexibility with topics, which should be a good old time. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care.